Today, as every year, it is my pleasure, my honor, and my duty to deliver the State of the City Address for Wylie, Texas, that is now home to, get ready, over 48,000 citizens. Now, as for the state of the city, the news is outstanding. Wylie has been a recipient of many honors and awards over the past few years. In August 2015, we received another one, and this was a big one. We got the news from a little old magazine called Money Magazine that they had chosen Wylie as the 25th best place to live in the entire United States of America. Now let's just stop and think about that for a moment. Think about how many cities there are in the United States of America. There's 30,044 of them, okay? That means if you look at that, and consider that number, if we're number 25 and there's 30,044 cities in the United States of America, that means that we are in the top 0.008% of top cities in the United States. Pretty cool. Now, to be honest, we could have saved Money Magazine's editors some time and effort and just told them what an amazing place Wylie, Texas truly is, because we've known that all along. But they didn't ask us. They did research on their own and published some of the many aspects that make Wylie such a wonderful and special city. They found out, and let's say it all together, why we love Wylie. Referring to the early days, when our town earned the nickname Wide Awake Wylie, Money noted our residents because of their late night socializing and shopping. Well, today, Wylie residents still like to get together for good times. The magazine noted and listed some of the events that bring folks together, like the Chamber of Commerce Rodeo, Bluegrass on Ballard, and the Wylie 500 pedal car races. And now here's some big news. Fireworks is returning to Wylie, Texas. On July the 2nd, you know there's a holiday right around that time you're familiar with, July the 4th, our Independence Day. During Bluegrass on Ballard, thanks in a big part to Bloomfield Homes, because they're sponsoring the fireworks, we're going to have a fireworks show after Bluegrass on Ballard. So when you see some folks from Bloomfield Homes, I know Scott is here with us today. Scott, wave to everybody. We appreciate them sponsoring us, bringing fireworks back to Wylie. Now, all of these events are made possible by the hand-in-hand partnerships enjoyed between the City of Wylie and organizations like the Chamber and the Downtown Merchants Association, our partner for the Bluegrass Festival and for the pedal car races. Truly, as the city works with these strong organizations, the whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. In addition to events Money published in their article, I'd also like to add Boo on Ballard. In fact, Boo on Ballard was expanded in 2015 to include something that was near and dear to my heart, the first ever Magic of Wylie Festival. First festival of its kind in the state of Texas. It included a parlor magic show featuring Jared Koff, a magician who wows audiences regularly in Hollywood's Magic Castle, street magicians on Ballard Avenue, and then a night of wonder, a magical extravaganza featuring headliner Trigg Watson, fresh from Penn and Teller's Foolish TV show and Pop TV's Don't Blink. But the year would not have been complete without the Wylie Arts Festival. a holiday celebration that brings thousands to our historic downtown each December. It includes over 120 quality arts and crafts vendors, the Festival of Lights Parade sponsored by FBC Wylie, and the Christmas tree lighting at Old City Park. Money also listed our strong community spirit as one of the many reasons Wylie had landed on their best places list. Indeed, our community spirit is one of the strongest, if not the strongest anywhere in the nation. Examples include the way that we all come together every autumn for the Week of Compassion, donating money and commodities to the Wylie Christian Care Center, an all-volunteer organization led by the one and only Raymond Cooper. Now, Raymond couldn't be with us today, but let's give Raymond a shout out for everything he's done for us. Now, this is an all-volunteer organization. Now, think about what they do. In 2015, approximately 2,450 families visited the center, and 231,000 food items were distributed to citizens in need. The center donated $132,000 to area families for rent and utilities, along with a large quantity of clothing. Last year, Wylie ISD donated over $10,000 and 90,000 food items to this cause. This is just one example of how we come together to help out our fellow citizens. That is the Wylie difference. But then another example that's just a small little thing in many ways, but it's really not. It's a big thing. It happened literally on Christmas Day. In a letter that we got from Jeff Denton of the Waterbrook Bible Fellowship, he wrote that on Christmas Day he received a call from one of the church's neighbors alerting him to a water line break. Jeff arrived to find water pouring out, and in his words, he said it was like a small river. He spoke to Wylie Police Officer Chris Taylor, who then contacted dispatch, who then got in touch with Public Works. Chris Blue with Public Works arrived and shut off the water line. Jeff wrote, Chris could have understandably left quickly to return to his own Christmas Day activities. However, recognizing we would need water to our buildings for Sunday services right after Christmas, he offered to assist us in pumping water from the service hose to determine where the break had occurred. He went on to write, after some help and digging on Chris's part, he showed us the break was in our irrigation line. He gave us some direction on how to shut off that specific line, and then was able to turn water service back on for our buildings. The church held Sunday activities as planned. Jeff called the service from the city fantastic and described our employees as gracious and as helpful as they could be, even though they had to work on Christmas Day. When he expressed his thanks to Chris, here's what Chris had to say. I can't think of a better day to be helping people than on Christmas Day. Chris, if you would please stand up. That's the kind of employees we have. It's that community spirit from the city manager all the way through our ranks that shows itself and all the way through our community, that shows itself time and time again as our residents, our city employees, our schools, our businesses, our places of worship link arm in arm and work together. Money editors also spoke of Wylie's desirable location and how it lends itself to outdoor and indoor activities. Right in our own backyard, a mile-long hike and bike trail has been created on the campus of the Wylie Municipal Complex, offering families an opportunity to walk through wooded property, across creeks, and through meadows. We recently received word, thanks to our county commissioners, that we are receiving another $500,000 grant from Collin County to add to our hike and bike trail, which will form a loop of over 2 miles. So again, thanks to Collin County. This year, the North Central Texas Council of Governments awarded Wylie a Celebrating Leadership in Development Excellence Award for the municipal complex, noting that these buildings invite diverse educational and recreational activities and incorporate good environmental stewardship into their design and operation. Money mentioned the state-of-the-art Wylie Recreation Center with its 28-foot climbing wall, fitness area, walking track, and basketball courts. The city also recently acquired the Birmingham House, now known as it was originally called the Brown House, named after its builders Thomas and Mattie Brown. This new facility is now available for rent from our citizens. We remain committed to historic preservation and value this peek into Wylie's past. A joint effort by the city, Wylie Parks and Recreation, the Wylie Historical Society, and Douglas Properties recently relocated and preserved the Stone family home located at the intersection of Allen East Drive and South Ballard Avenue. The developer has dedicated almost 2 acres to the city as parkland and donated the house to the Wylie Historical Society. The cooperation of the entities involved in preserving this historic treasure is another example of the strong relationship Wylie enjoys with many groups. And one such group is the Wylie Advocates for Senior Activities, or WASA, which formed in order to raise funds to convert the old library building into a state-of-the-art senior center. Now we have some members of WASA here with us. I'm going to ask if they would stand up, some of their board members. Mary Davis is right there. Of course, our former mayor is was the president of WASA. Let's give them a great big hand. Because here was their attitude. They came, they saw, they conquered. We weren't going to say no. They finished their mission. And a final $16,000 donation to the city and the Senior Recreation Center. A job well done. A wonderful thing for our seniors. The center just continues to grow and thrive, offering a wide variety of trips, activities, and social events for our most experienced generation. For example, each year the center holds a senior prom. And the theme of last year's prom was G.I. Jive. Erlene and Bruce Collinsworth were named Queen and King of the prom at the April event. They were newlyweds, only married almost 69 years. Wow. Can you believe that? Unfortunately, Bruce recently passed away. He was a proud World War II veteran, and today we want to honor him for his service to our country. Wylie ISD was listed as a reason the community is such a desirable one for families to call home. Wylie students consistently score above the state and national averages on SAT and ACT test scores. The city enjoys a close working relationship with the school district. We meet regularly to share plans and updates between our 2 organizations to better serve our citizens. The City Council also honors outstanding students every 9 weeks with Shining the Wylie Way medallions at our City Council meetings. Wylie Fire Rescue visits our schools each October to present a lighthearted, interactive fire safety program. The firefighters write, rehearse, create costumes, build their own scenery, and head to local elementary schools, private schools, and daycares. Dubbed the Wylie Wild Bunch, their portrayals of characters such as aging superheroes teach fire safety lessons with humor. If you've not seen one of these shows, you are missing out. Let me tell you. These guys are hilarious. They write the scripts themselves, they build the scenes, and we have some of our firefighters here today. If they would stand up, guys, and let's give you a great round of applause. Well, they were here. They had to, I guess, get back to work. Maybe they didn't want to hear the speech. I don't know. The Wylie Police Department is a daily part of Wylie ISD. The SROs are the student resource officers in our schools. They go into our schools, they work each day in our schools with our administrators, our teachers, and our students. Additionally, the SROs and students have created the Police Club, an organization available to students in 9th through 12th grade. The club is sponsored by the Student Resource Officers and the Wylie Police Association. The organization gives students a better understanding of the law enforcement profession and teaches the importance of good leadership and character traits. It's also my honor each year to talk to students at every level about our city government and the mayor's responsibilities. I enjoy meeting with our young citizens, establishing a relationship, and putting a friendly face on our local government. Now, Money noted that Wylie's crime rate is among the lowest in the state. In fact, as of last year, our crime rate dropped by 28%, despite a 6% increase in our population. Pretty good for Wylie PD, isn't it? And unlike many cities, our citizens embrace and support our public safety departments. On September the 11th, we dedicated the Heroes of Wylie sculpture at the Public Safety Building. The 6'5" bronze statue is dedicated to those who rush in when others are rushing out. Now, it was no accident that we chose September the 11th, 9/11, to dedicate this sculpture. We wanted to pay tribute to those first responders who courageously ran into those doomed buildings back in 2001. At the statue's unveiling, I reminded those gathered to always remember to honor the people who put their lives at risk on behalf of their families, their friends, their neighbors, their fellow citizens, and the strangers who come within our city limits. They assume that risk each and every day on our behalf. I'm proud that two of our most prominent servant leaders began their careers here and moved up through the ranks to lead their organizations. Police Chief Anthony Henderson began his law enforcement career with Wylie PD in 1999. Yes, that's Anthony right there, with hair. First as a patrolman, then as a sergeant, then lieutenant, then assistant chief, and now as of September 2015, Wylie's Chief of Police. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Henderson. This marks the first time in the history of our city that a police chief has been promoted from within the ranks. Fire Chief Brent Parker, who assumed his leadership role in 2014, was a graduate of Wylie High School. Yes, that's Parker right there. He has been with Wylie Fire Rescue for 14 years, moving through the ranks as a firefighter and all the way up to Chief. Chief Parker, where you at? Stand up. By the way, these guys didn't know we had their pictures. I'm going to probably be in trouble later. Who knows what they'll do. It's something to say about a city when its young people grow up here, choose to raise their families here, and assume positions of leadership in their hometown. Money Magazine also took note of Wylie's booming economy. Now, that was their words. Indeed, Sam Satterwhite and the Wylie Economic Development Corporation are always at work, courting new businesses and encouraging them to come to our town. For the 15th consecutive fiscal year, Wylie EDC sales tax receipts have increased significantly. 2015 saw a 13% increase over 2014. The 2015 sales tax total was $2.1 million, with The Rock and TJ Maxx bringing in a significant amount of that new tax revenue. Additionally, Woodbridge Crossing, home of Super Target, reflected a 23% sales tax gain over the previous year, bringing in more than $1.3 million to the city in sales tax revenue. The EDC has also succeeded in a goal that Sam and the board of directors set out some time ago: the acquisition of 6 industrial properties totaling 5 acres on Highway 78 near Starbucks. We look forward to converting this land to retail and commercial services. And of course, I know we're doing what we can to try and get sit-down restaurants. The new La Quinta Inn and Suites, located at Sandon and 544, is projected to be completed in the fall of 2016. And the former hospital and nearby 3-story office building next to Brookshire's has also been sold, and the investor has told us how enthusiastic he is about developing this property. In addition, unemployment rates in town are a low 3.1%, and projected job growth is estimated at a whopping, again quoting Money Magazine, 19.1%. And when you compare that to the rest of the country, which is 7.4%, not too bad for Wylie, Texas. Our finance department continues to be recognized for its exemplary record keeping and transparency. This past year, the Government Finance Officers Association recognized Wylie with the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. In addition, Wylie was recognized with the Platinum Leadership Circle Award for financial transparency by the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts, recognizing our clear, consistent, user-friendly format that lets taxpayers easily drill down for more detail. We appreciate Finance Director Linda Bantz for her team for continuing to make financial transparency a priority here in Wylie, Texas. Also bringing honor to the city of Wylie was Director of Developmental Services, Renee Ollie. Renee, you're here somewhere too, right? Where you at, Renee? There you are, right there. Renee was one of only 8 women recognized by the League of Women Voters at the celebration of Collin County Women in Public Administration. Our city manager had this to say. Our city manager had this to say about Renee. She lives and works in Wylie and is absolutely committed to ensuring that we have quality development and quality of life in our community. These are only a few of the individuals who focus the spotlight on our community due to their dedication and desire to do the best possible job for the citizens of Wylie. Our partnership and spirit of cooperation with the county and neighboring cities has also contributed to our ability to make positive changes in our community. Collin County, Saxe, and Wylie work together to fund the new section of Woodbridge Parkway that connects FM 544 to Highway 78 to keep traffic moving. And speaking of roads, let me update you on improvements to area thoroughfares. Since the 1999 bond, over $110 million has been spent on 140 lanes of roadway miles, funded by the city, the county, and the Texas Department of Transportation. Currently, we have Country Club and Ballard Avenue under construction at a cost of $7.5 million, and TxDOT has another 20 lane miles under construction on Highway 78 at a cost of $16.3 million that someday will be completed. Wylie continues to do other things. For example, we are continuing to pursue a Collin College campus. And without giving away a bunch of details, for the first time ever, Wylie is seriously being looked at by the college. Wylie's cooperation with other organizations doesn't stop at the city or even at the county level. Thanks to the relationship that we enjoy with U.S. Congressman Pete Sessions, the EPA is now cleaning up a piece of property that has been contaminated for over 25 years at no cost to the city of Wylie. This will open up, that will open up additional property for retail and commercial development. As mayor, it is my honor to represent the city at various functions in a variety of ways. Now, some of you might find it hard to believe that as a young man, as a boy, I was extremely shy. I was extremely an introvert. And I was one of these type of kids that I would do anything I could to not have to give that book report, to not stand in front of that crowd. But what a difference a few decades can make. And one of the reasons I was able to overcome my shyness was I learned magic and I performed as Clinky the Clown. And yes, that's me at the ripe old age of 18. Entertaining folks of all ages and all backgrounds. I also had some neighbors who were deaf, and I learned sign language in order to communicate with them. And that also turned out to be a good tool against my shyness. I began interpreting church sermons and accompanying deaf students to college classes, signing the lessons for them. So imagine my pride at having been recently named the head of the governing board of the Texas School for the Deaf, a board that I've served on. A board that I've served on since my appointment by the governor in 2009. I was thrilled to be able to give back to the deaf community, and this position of leadership on the state board gives me further opportunity to represent Wylie, Texas, and spread the word about how we love Wylie. But you know, we didn't need Money Magazine to tell us how wonderful a community we have. There's something special here. As everyone gathered today knows, call it the Wylie difference or being wide awake Wylie. It's a remarkable, positive place to live and raise a family, to do business, to visit, or to even retire. So I would correct Money Magazine on one fact. Wylie isn't the 25th best place to live in the country. In the hearts and minds of those who live, work, and play here, it is number one. We launched our new city website this year, and the City of Wylie's mission statement has a prominent place in the upper left-hand corner on the homepage. It reads, honoring our past, embracing our present, planning our future. The City Council and I are committed to this threefold focus. We are ever mindful of those who've gone before us, paving the way for the excellence that we now enjoy. We are firmly rooted in the present, realizing our strengths and celebrating our accomplishments, and we look to the future. As we prepare to cross the threshold of over 50,000 citizens, we continue to build a positive and vital, forward-moving community, fostering strong partnerships at every level, and we will continue to be an influential leader in Collin County, in Texas, and in the United States of America. We are focused, we are ready, we are Wylie, Texas. Thank you for allowing me this privilege, this honor, to be able to serve as your mayor. I hope you know without a doubt, without question, I truly love Wylie, Texas. And as we go forth now, may God continue to bless each and every one of you. And as always, may God bless the great city of Wylie, Texas. Thank you.